What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. Well, I hate to be an I told you so, but I told you so. I told you that the studios are going to start moving forward with the actors, and they will get a deal with the actors done before they get a deal with the writers done. You know, I've already said that. I said that on the video I just did yesterday. If you didn't see that video, I'll link it above. You know, talking about how the writers are basically fighting amongst themselves. You know, you got the showrunners, you got the WGA. They got a big meeting set up for tomorrow so they can try to iron some stuff out. Like, they're infighting over there at the WGA. And, you know, I'm pretty sure the studios are looking at that like, man, screw them people. We already gave them a deal. They haven't even sent the deal to the members in order to vote on the deal to see if they're going to take it. They jacking around over there. Look, move on. Let's get to the actors. Let's see if the actors want to make a deal. And the actors have way more leverage than the writers do. All right? Because with the actors, think about this. With the actors, you can still produce your content. All right? Whatever like stuff you have now, you can't have any writers on set working, but you can still say, okay, we got scripts. You know, let's go ahead. We got the stuff that we want to make. You know, we can't have actors doing any last minute changes, any rewrites or any of that, but we can produce stuff. We can get the ball rolling. And then maybe somewhere down the line when the writers, you know, finally pull their heads out of their asses. All right, now bring them cats back and then we can reshoot, do the rewrites and all the stuff that we want to do anyway. You know, we'll probably get to that later down the line. But right now, we don't have anything going on. We can't produce any content. We can't promote any content because we don't have the actors. You know, they need the actors to promote crap that's coming up like the Marvels. You know, I'm pretty sure they want Brie Larson to help out with some of that stuff. Right now, they can't do any of it, you know? So that's the leverage that the actors have always had. And that's why I said that the actors will get back to work before the writers do. And yeah, so basically you see this is on the wrap. Studios are mulling a pivot back to SAG-AFTRA negotiations after the WGA talks stall. Urgency grows among the studios to get back to work, but a deal with the Actors Guild may not be any easier than one with the writers. Yeah, they need to get back to work. There's a lot on the line when it comes to this stuff. You guys remember, I pointed this out yesterday, that the strikes must be settled by October 1st in order to salvage the scripted TV season. So the 2023-24 scripted TV season. If they don't get these strikes done and over with, all right, then the season is a bust. And they're going to lose whatever possible money they may have made out of that, okay? So it's imperative for them to get this thing done and dusted in about 2 weeks and change. They got to hurry up and get on the ball. And this, honestly, it would incentivize the writers to, because think about this. Let's say these two chicks, Carol Lombardini and Fran Drescher, start making progress on talks. You know, they start making things, hey man, we getting together, we talking every day, things are starting to come together, we're making some progress. What kind of pressure do you think that's going to put on the Writers Guild to say, hey, we got to take a deal. We got to do something, right? Can you imagine you walk by like a restaurant or something. You see these two sitting at a table, you know, joking and laughing. Hey, man, we making deals. We doing business. Yeah, everything's working out just great, you know. And meanwhile, you got the writers and the WGA president. Hey, they look like they working out stuff in there. Hey, Carol and Fran just hugged each other. Hey, guys. Hey, it's me. Hey, you guys making deals finally? Oh, that's awesome. Hey, can I get in? The door is locked. Hi. That puts pressure, right? Pressure burst pipes. You need pressure on these people. Because, look, you got all of these crew members that aren't making any money. That's why all of these like talk show hosts are going back to work. It's like, man, we got cats out of work. You know, the showrunners are sitting there like, hey, man, we got cats out of work. We want to get back to work so that we can start paying our people. This is like a family on this group or whatever. You know, we got to get back to work. So the actors, if the actors get back to work, then they can start promoting. They can start making shows. So I'm pretty sure all of the people are just going to be like, hey, well, whatever the hell with the writers. They got a deal, you know. Like the WGA president, hey, what about us? You guys are making a deal. What about us? What about you? You got a deal on the table. Why don't you send that to your members to sign it? Hey, get out of here, man. We ain't got time for this. Like, that's what it would be. We're going to start pivoting back to this like I thought. But let's go ahead and check out this article on the wrap, see what it has to say. As contract talks with the Writers Guild of America has stalled, studios are considering a shift in focus to negotiating with SAG-AFTRA, whose members have joined the picket line for the past 2 months. Members of the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers are getting restless over the lack of progress in talks with the WGA since the studios publicly released their proposal to the Guild on August 22nd, a studio insider told The Wrap. In the weeks since, the WGA and AMPTP have both suggested the onus is on the other side to come up with a fresh counteroffer. With growing sense of urgency to get productions back up and running, some studio leaders feel it's time to bring SAG-AFTRA back to the negotiating table. They should be negotiating with this group all the time. And again, I'm not on anybody's side with any of this, all right? I could care less who wins. I think all of these cats have broken Hollywood almost beyond repair. But if you sit back and think about it, if you get the actors back in, there's a lot of benefit that comes with that for these studios. Number one, you can continue to make content. You don't have to just shut everything down. But then number two, you can promote the current content that you have and get them out there on the red carpet, get them, on the talk show circuits, all right, at the premiere events, all of those events where the actors need to be in order to promote their new content or the new movie or the new TV show or whatever. They can get that going. Right now, they're doing nothing. Nothing's happening right now, all right? So, yeah, with the writers, none of that really happens with the writers. But with the actors, you can get all of that back into play. And right now, Hollywood is literally on death's door, okay? And the studios understand that. And I'm pretty sure the actors and the writers understand that right now. This is the existential crisis for Hollywood. There's a real urge to get a deal done, one insider said. It's been weeks since there's been any talks with the writers, and there's some among studios who don't want to sit on their hands waiting for the writers to provide another proposal and want to see if there can be progress with SAG-AFTRA instead. There is a feeling among the studios that a deal will be reached with SAG-AFTRA before the WGA. Same that I've been saying that. I've been saying they're gonna make a deal with them. They're gonna be more willing to make a deal with the actors. Why? Because the actors do have some leverage. You see, the writers didn't have leverage. The actors have leverage. And the timing in an actor strike is almost always, okay? Again, the writers are stupid. Multiple executives and agents told The Wrap. The Writers Guild appears to be digging in, as one insider put it, on key issues such as streaming residuals and minimum writers' room staffing. The insiders also said there's growing pressure facing the studios to get a deal done with The insiders also said there is growing pressure facing studios to get a deal done with SAG-AFTRA so that actors can promote upcoming films and TV shows this fall and lead campaigns for the upcoming award season. Yeah, all of this type of stuff right here. This is what the actors are good for. This is why the actors have leverage and the writers don't. Nobody goes to the writers to promote any of this stuff, all right, unless they're a showrunner and a director. And even then, who knows who the showrunners of these people? Nobody knows them. You know the actors, okay? That's who you know as a viewer, as a member of the audience. And even if you are like a hardcore, super duper film fan and you cover all of this stuff, you don't even know all of the writers for all of your favorite shows. You know a few of them, but you don't even know all of them by face. And that's what you're using to promote and all of that. So again, that's what's important to the studios. And it goes on to say, yeah, all of these talks first have to start with back channel negotiations on both sides, but there haven't been any back channel discussions with the AMPTP about potentially resuming talks. So, yeah, they got to talk amongst themselves first. It's like, all right, how are we going to approach this? This is what we thinking. This is what we're going to do. And then on the other side, they're doing kind of the same thing. And then somebody will reach out to the other person. Okay, this is where we're at. Why don't we sit down and have a discussion about this, blah, blah, blah. So there's going to be all of that kind of stuff going on behind the scenes. But again, I think that this is absolutely going to move forward. There's a lot of problems in Hollywood strictly with the streaming services. I think, again, they're talking about streaming residuals. Yeah, with these sticking points. Foremost amongst them is the issue of streaming compensation. Like the WGA, SAG-AFTRA has been adamant in calling for a significant change in how its members are paid to reflect the fact that streaming has become the dominant home entertainment medium. And that's the problem, because you're not going to fix this on the first go. They got to understand this. I 100% see the streamers as the problem because the streamers don't need Hollywood. They don't. Hollywood is a side hustle for these guys, all right? Amazon, they're an online shopping mall. Apple, they make phones and computers. Netflix kind of needs them a little bit more, but they're really just a distribution hub for content all over the world. They don't necessarily need just Hollywood. They can get stuff from anywhere. Netflix is just packed to the gills with anime. So, they're not going to fix this on the first time around. The streamers did offer us, we'll be transparent with our data, okay? We'll give you the data transparency, and then you can start looking at that and then use that for future, okay? For future negotiations or whatever. That's where I think they're going to have to get this in a couple of steps. They're not going to get what they want the first time. And if they hold to this point, oh yeah, they're going to be completely screwed, all right? Because the streamers are like, nah, we don't need this to make money. We don't need you, Hollywood, to make money. We can make money in other areas, other avenues, okay? Wouldn't be surprised if Netflix opened up some shit in Japan, like, oh, Netflix Japan, if they don't already have it, I don't even know. Or open up Netflix Europe and just start having a studio over there. So if we want to make some stuff, all right, we'll make it over there. You know, we could get out of Hollywood. Again, these global companies do not need LA and Hollywood like that. And look, and I ran into this article on NPR where it says streaming broke Hollywood, but saved TV. Now it's time to do your part. I don't care about this doing my part stuff, but they're 100% right when it comes to the fact that streaming destroyed Hollywood. Hollywood is in the position right now, in my opinion, because of streaming. It completely wrecked the WGA and the SAG's models for getting compensation. It wrecked it because now, and they don't know how to fix it. Like, I found this stat absolutely telling. It's obvious we now have too much television for the audience to process, with 599 series available last year, according to data from FX Networks. 599. How many series do you watch in a year? You don't even come close to watching 599 series, all right? I'm going to do a separate video on that, just kind of explore that idea. But that's the problem. Hollywood is creating too much content. And a lot of it is garbage that nobody watches, and then it gets pulled off the network. And it's like, how do we compensate all of the people that are working on all 599 of these series, not to mention the movies and the, you know, the animated stuff or whatever else is out there? How do we find a fair compensation for all of this stuff that's hitting streaming services? All right. It's absolutely, it's impossible right now. Again, I don't think they're going to solve the Netflix situation on the first go round. And I think that's really what's holding up a lot of this strike. You know, yeah, there's stuff about AI, you know, that's part of it. There's the writer's room as well. That's a part of it. But I think the streaming services is the thing that they're probably going to have to just let go for now, get a little bit, and then move on and try to get the rest later. But anyway, folks, you guys let me know what you think. I just find it hilarious. Like I said, I've been calling this from day one that, yeah, we are going to get the actors back to work, okay? The actors are going to get back to work well before the writers, okay? The writers are going to be on the outside looking in, okay? Knocking on that little restaurant window like, yo, hey, what about us? Yeah, but they got a deal that they haven't voted on yet, so it's kind of hard to have any sympathy for that situation whatsoever. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments, give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.